Hello, my little Titans. I hope you guys had a great week. Mine was pretty okay till yesterday. Remember last week when I said I wasn't feeling well and I was probably getting sick? Well, that came to fruition yesterday. I was brutally sick, and I'm in recovery today. It's been quite lovely, fluctuating between feeling pretty good and then not so much. Hi, Wolf. Good to see you. Yeah, not too bad of a week. I was very sick yesterday into today. We're in recovery, like I was saying today. So hoping to feel better by tomorrow. Hi, Eric. Good to see you. How you been? How is everybody's? If you celebrated Valentine's Day, if not, how is your day in general? That's good. Yeah, right. It seems like every time I go, I want to film this weekend, it's like, no, we're gonna have you feel physically incapable of doing that. It's like, sucks. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's how it feels sometimes. Oh, thank you, dear. So, Era, what have you been up to? Going to sleep? In a little bit of sleep. I'm gonna sleep for most of the day, so no thanks. Thanks. I just been recovering from stomach flu, so might explain why I look drunk and tired. Thank you. Let's back up and see. So a lot of people jump in. Thank you, August. Congratulations on being the first like, I suppose. I don't know how I don't have likes. I don't know. YouTube be weird like that. Thank you, Mike. Oh, we've been thinking about Era. What do I do? On this channel, cosplay content. On this stream, just chat. No, I'm not in a doomsday shelter. If it were, there would be no windows. Hello. Hey, Alicia. Good to see you. How have you been, Alicia? It's good to see you. Am I scared of the outdoors? No, I just don't like them. I'm not bad. I'm not bad at all. Thank you for asking. Um, Recovering from a really nasty stomach bug, but other than that, hello. Uh, she's good. She's asleep right now. I still think a solar flare would be really, really cool, Era. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty good, Alicia. No, I live in an RV right now on my parents' property. No billionaire would ever want to keep me trapped. Trust me. Why would Alicia? Oh, thank you, Alicia. I just saw your comment about how you like my hair. Dude, I'm gonna open my front door. It's fucking snowing and cold out there. That's insane. Hi, Denver. Well, I'm in an RV because I live here now. Oh, right. I haven't seen you in that long, Alicia. No, it has nothing to do with travel. Like I said, this is a stationary RV on my parents' property. I'm moving my leg back and forth, and it's vibrating the very sensitive, tiny ass table my stuff is set up on. But no, this is not because I like to travel. Am I anxious? No. No, you're good, Alicia. I know life happens. Shit. My favorite Sonic character. Um, I don't know a whole lot about it enough to make a truly informed decision, but just from what I do know, I really like Tails. I think he's funny. It's a weird kind of awareness anxiety. No, I have not gone to see the new Lion King movie. I have no idea. How old is the YouTube channel? Um, shit. Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing. Ooh, I started in 2018. Yeah, I started in 2018, so it's, forgive me, I can't do math right now. Um, 7 years old, something like that. I joined in 2017, but my first video didn't eight wasn't published until 2018. So, um, mm, 7 years. The channel's 7 years old. Felt it right now. It's all good, Era. Oh yeah, she certainly has. She's now happily, according to her, 5 years old. She's very pleased with it, and she is growing like crazy. My oldest video is 6 years old. Well, the channel's anniversary hasn't come to pass yet, so that might change soon. Because I know that the first video was posted near the end of February of 2018. I don't remember the exact date. I'm sure you'll find it for me. But um, yeah, I remember it was just near the end of February. Wow, time goes by. Yeah, it does. You're telling me I can't believe my little baby is now running around and learning how to read. That's the crazy part is she fully knows enough about the alphabet that she's reading. It's incredible. Oh, cool. How was it? There it is. I knew you'd find it. Yes, that's what I consider to be the anniversary date for the channel. Is when I first posted the video. Yeah, it is amazing. Truly amazing. Yes, I actually have some scheduled ones coming up actually this week. Um, I've got a few others coming up in the next few weeks. I'm working on making more. I kind of want to just have a lot done before the end of the year and then take some time in December to make more for the next year. Um, if you join Patreon at a certain tier, you can recommend videos or get a requested video or something like that. Wolf still needs to cash in on her video. Um, That way I have something to make specifically for her. Yes. Thank you, Wolf. Hello, Just a Tree. But I've got quite a few videos done, like scheduled. I've got some more I need to edit because I'm always editing, and I have some more I need to film. And I'm hoping to film feeling a little better this weekend. It's amazing what a nap can do. I think I took like an hour and a half nap today, and I woke up and felt worlds better. So we'll see if I can get anything done tomorrow. Like I'm really hoping to get something done. Hello, Alex. That's awesome, Alicia. I bet. I bet you're excited. So did anybody do anything exciting for their week? Anybody got anything else cool coming up? Ah, that's fair. I don't feel bad. I got my permit, but it took 2 years to get my license. In that time I was actively like training with driving and stuff, but I took my time. There was no huge rush. Just work. Yeah, that's fair. The only thing, quote unquote, fun I've done in the last little bit is I went to Comic Con recently. Nice. Are you baking for fun or for profit or what? I know a lot of people use baking as some kind of side hustle, so I thought I'd ask. For fun? Nice. What do you bake? Like cakes, brownies, pastries? My sister's wanting to bake some kind of chocolate pie for an upcoming, what you call it? I guess baking contest. I don't know. It seems like more just like a neighborhood thing, but she wants to make a chocolate pie for it. Yes, that way. Sorry, I needed to off a lot of stuff quickly, so I don't know which it was in response to. I really did like that drawing of Moonfire era. It was really nice. You have great talent. I've liked all the drawings you sent me. You're very, like I said, you're very talented. I think you should continue. Hello, Raven. You sleep all the time and that's what all my stuff with my aunt died. Fair. You sleep with her. Ah, yep, definitely understandable. Nice. I love to cook and to bake. The only problem is I like to eat what I make, and usually what I make is decent enough that I eat a lot of it. So I try like ugh. So I try not to make too much. Lemon poppy seed muffins. Nice. Those are good. I love lemon in cake form and bar form. And muffins I consider a type of cakey form. They're just not as sweet as normal cake. Yeah, I want to bake more. I want to bake bread because I love bread. And since I have to go gluten free, I'd like to learn how to make like low gluten or gluten free bread, but make it really, really tasty. Because unfortunately, a lot of the bread that I find that's gluten free isn't that great. It's really unfortunate. Um, I want to learn how to make a lot more gluten free treats. I also want to learn how to make pastries because some of my favorite desserts are pastry, or at least pastry based, baklava and some other stuff like that. I call it pastry because it involves like phyllo dough and stuff. Um, Anything that isn't a cake is a pastry. But I'd love to learn how to make those. I'm not big on fruit desserts like ever. Like it has to be a really rare mood for me to want some fruit with my dessert that isn't like fruit ice cream or something. Um, because I love raspberry ice cream. Are you going to make macarons? Is it macarons or macaroons? Because those are two different things, two spelled completely different. Macaroons are the coconuts things. You might know them as haystacks, but in the US they're coconut. They're coconut. And macarons, the French pastry, that are completely gluten free but delicious and tedious to make. Uh, I may try those someday. My sister makes them. She's made really good ones. The unfortunate part was she made them with rose water. Um, and rose water is kind of a taste that you don't really forget, that you don't really want. If she had done, because she made the whole thing rose water, like the cookie and the filling. If she'd made like the filling raspberry or something, it would have been more palatable. But the whole thing rose, and it tasted like, this is gonna sound like the weirdest thing, but when I was little, I had a Barbie doll that the head smelled like rose water, and the macaron she made um, tasted like that baby doll smelled. It was really bizarre. And as much as I like rose, I'm a fan of eating it. The best thing I ever had with rose, and it had a lot of other flavors with it. It was this rose cardamom pistachio gluten free cake. Oh my god, I ate the crap out of that. It was wonderful. Hi, Angel. But I want to learn to make stuff like that. And I mean, like, it was 100% gluten free, but it was really good and really tasty. And there are so few places that do gluten free well. And I'd like to learn how to do that. But yeah, maybe not with a lot of rose. I would like to learn how to cook more with cardamom though, because cardamom is a great flavor. I really like it. It goes well in a lot of things. Um, and I like pistachio as well. And I like to make stuff with pistachio that actually like tastes like pistachio because a lot of the things I've eaten that say they have pistachio in them just don't. If you have to ask if I'm a famous actor, I'm probably not a famous actor. Thanks. Have I seen Sailor Moon before? Yes. I just didn't watch it much. My mom wasn't a big anime, so I didn't watch it until I was much older. But I've heard of Sailor Moon. And as I got older, I learned more about what it is. If you ever really want to learn a lot about Sailor Moon, go to Anime America. The main chick, Robin, she's obsessed and is probably the biggest fan of Sailor Moon, and she will tell you everything. It's great. That's awesome, Angel. But I will say I did finish a couple of anime this last week. I watched Freerun, which was awesome, and I highly recommend everybody go watch it. It's a pretty low key, low stakes fantasy anime that the world building, the storytelling is top quality, top tier. It's wonderful. Um, you follow Friedman, who's an elf. She's got the story's told from her perspective, obviously, but it's I'm not going to give away too much of it because I really want you guys to watch it. But she's an adventurer. She was part of a famous adventuring party, and this is her life post the adventuring party and how she navigates the world that's changing around her while she's still kind of like one foot in the past and then only part way into the present. It's really good. Highly recommend it. And it's not like it's typical fantasy where the character's so OP, that they'll never fail. It's not like that. She's a very hilarious individual. They give her some obvious character flaws just, to show she still is kind of like a kind of person. Um, it's really well done. And I just finished the first season. The second season's coming out like either late this year or next year, and I look forward to it. And then I watched the movie Suzume, um, which I really enjoyed. It's another kind of Ghibli-esque film, kind of in the same vein as Say Your Name or something like that. I can't remember if that's what the name it was. Um, but that was really good. It was about a girl who helps this guy stop these portals to a different plane of existence that contain monsters from opening all around the country. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it. He turns into a stool, the guy does, because the cat doesn't want to be, there's a cat that doesn't want to be part of the equation anymore and turns the guy into a stool. It was pretty funny, but I really enjoyed it. It was a good watch. It's a good movie. It is. I'm shipping Tuxedo Mask and Sailor Moon. Yep, I think that is everyone's collective OG ship. You like my jacket? Thank you. I've had it for several years and it is falling apart. um, you can tell it's frayed right here. I've never had a hoodie fray at the cuff before, and I've had to make repairs. I've fixed here. I had to reattach the hood here. I had to fix more holes in here. This part was coming off. It's pretty crazy. Oh, yep, yeah. There's the battle scar there. Watch dragon prints. Okay. Hello. Hi. Are you no longer doing Nightcore video, Angel? And I'm trying to decide what my next watch is going to be. I'm trying to think if I want to watch like an older anime or watch a newer-ish one. And I say newer-ish because I have no idea what the hell is coming out this year. Um, so I'm just like, I'm gonna catch up on some of the ones that sounded interesting. Oh, okay. Very cool, Angel. So still music, just different genre. Okay. Sorry, I haven't been on Discord much in the last couple of days. Like I said, I'm recovering from stomach flu, and I just haven't been on the up and up of pretty much anything. Saint Seiya. I've heard of that one. I have. I can actually say I have heard of it. I just need to watch it. Um, I was thinking Assassination Classroom, but I'm not sure if I want to. Um, I was also thinking of a couple of others. Um, what's the alchemy one that just it's not Fullmetal Brotherhood. I already watched that 3 times, all the way through. It's the oh God, it's the one about the little girl, like the little wife who is a concubine essentially, and she becomes like this really cool doctor. I can't think of it anymore. That's awesome, Angel. It's fantastic. God, why can't I hear? Yes, thank you. Apothecary Diaries. Uh, I've watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood like 3 times all the way through. It's phenomenal. It's one of my favorites. I would go back to watching it, but I'm like, no, you kind of have to watch their stuff. I will definitely try that. I found that tea does help me quite a bit, so I need to increase my tea intake. If that's Apothecary Diaries, I don't know. Um, I haven't watched any of it, so I don't know any of the character names, but I'm looking forward to it. I also have to watch My Happy Marriage. I've watched half of the first season. I have to get through the rest of it and into the new season, but I'm thinking of just waiting until the new season's done. Oh yeah, and I did finish Dun Da Dun Da Dun Dun, whatever the fuck it's called. What's your opinion on Tuxedo Mask? Um, from what I know, pretty good dude. Usagi definitely kind of scored husband department there. How's my husband doing? Um, hopefully I'm about to not be my husband soon. Can't really talk about it much right now, but don't be sorry. It's all right. Believe me, it's okay. Yeah, the person who knows the most about my situation is Wolf. Angel, unfortunately, got kind of pulled into it. I know some of it, but for privacy, we're not going to discuss it right now. How was Con? Um, it was really good. I really enjoyed the experience. It was for how big the city I was in. It was a very small con. It was funny. When I went to the one in Denver, it was a lot bigger, but this one for a city almost double the size of Denver, it was insanely small. But I liked that. I liked kind of the intimate feeling of it, like everybody could kind of collectively go together. Yes, I saw it, Angel. But I really enjoyed the con. I definitely want to go back, regardless of who's going to be there. Um, and I really think it was worth it. It was really decently priced. Stuff was really cool there. My daughter had a blast. She got to meet the voice actor for Charlie Morningstar from Has Been Hotel and was absolutely enthralled with the whole situation. So it was really good. Overall, 10 out of 10 would do again. Would go again. Describe yourself in 1 minute. Ugh. It's going to take me a minute just to come up with anything. Do you like WWE? Uh, I've never watched it. I think the clips I've seen of it are funny because usually what I just see is like the drama stuff, but I've never personally watched it. I feel like Tuxedo Mask was the biggest simp, to be honest with you. Get myself in a minute. 30-year-old single mother just trying to make it work while enjoying my anime, my channel, and writing, basically. Alistair's voice actor was actually really cool. He was really awesome. He was there. It was him, Angel Dust, and Al. It was him, Angel Dust, and Charlie. And we personally met Charlie and Angel Dust. Alice's voice actor had taken a break by the time we got there. And then when we did the group picture, he was really cool. Twisted Wonderland. Oh, yes. I keep hearing about that one. That one sounds really interesting. I may have to watch that one, Era. I may break and watch that one. I don't know if I'll watch it as it's all coming out, but I will watch it. Um, do I like EastEnders? I haven't watched that show in years. The last time I saw it, we were in Canada. Comment on my hair. Is it bad? All I do is brush it. This is literally what it does. I have no control over it. We're on episode 70 or 80. Oh my God. Kudos to you. I couldn't do it. My hair looks fine. Thanks. Been what? Damn. That's like saying I'm gonna watch One Piece and then doing it. Like, ugh. That's one I'm not ever gonna really watch. I'll watch clips of it because One Piece has some good moments, but I'm not gonna go through all the episodes just for the couple of cool moments. I tried watching Fairy Tale, and I know the basic gist of Fairy Tale. I just lost interest because it seemed like nothing really happened. Wow, Wolf really coming out swinging. Oh, nice. Did you meet them at like a convention, or did you just randomly see them on the I think I remember Nick, but that's pretty cool, Alicia. I haven't met any celebrities out in the wild. Most of the time, I just meet them like at actual events or something. Well, welcome. Yeah, I do, and I'm not really surprised that you did that. Oh, that's awesome, Alicia. See, you meet them out in the wild. That I count as out in the because it's not an event dedicated to them. Where am I from? I'm from the US. Oh my God. Dude, you just made me feel old. You were 12 when you found me in 2018. We are now 7 years later. Oh my God. Man, I wish I'd have been able to grow my channel more during those last few years, but life happened. Thank you. 21's not that bad. Trust me, like everybody who says that you're failing if you don't have your life together by 30 is lying to you. You're just figuring out life in general in your 20s. Like by the time you're 30, if you have a general grasp on things, like at least know how to file your taxes, pay bills, and what a decent, work ethic can be. Not that you have a consistent job or anything, but you like know at least how to work a job. That's fine. You can figure it out from there. It's okay. Because we live in a different time than the people before us where they were able to get their shit together by 30. We don't live in that time anymore. It's a completely different world. We're okay. You guys are making me feel very fucking old because I turned 31 this year. Guys, Okay, Angel, I'm gonna blow your mind on this. Levi actually, by the end of the series, is 26, and I can explain somewhat. I need my notes because it's thing. Hello. But okay. So I had to do the research for my story because I'm like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Like his age and timeline just didn't make any fucking sense. So I went and looked at it. Okay. Levi was so okay. Timeline wise, between Yuri's, let's just give me a second. I'm gonna explain this. All right, I gotta get my mind together for this explanation. Okay, Wolf, I told you this, so don't give me that. Okay, so Kenny met. Hello. So Yuri Reese was founding titan for the full 13 years. Frida was um for 3 years. So that's 16 years right there. At the very most, leave at and at the beginning of Yuri's reign, he met Kenny within like the first year or so. Um, so when he met Yuri, that kicks off the 16 years. Because he met him relatively soon after. Um, sorry, I'm in the middle of an explanation, and if I don't get it out, I'm gonna like completely forget it. Um, at the time that uh, Yuri and Kenny met, Kenny's grandfather had roughly died in that time after telling him the secret. That's why Kenny was hunting down Yuri. Um, so his grandfather died in right before their grandfather died. Um, Kenny had visited his grandfather, his and Kuchel's grandfather, and said that Kuchel was about to give birth. That not that she had given birth, but that she was going to give birth. So their grandfather died knowing that line would continue. So at so Kenny Kuchel was pregnant then, and then um, shortly after when the grandfather died and already told Kenny about their family history, Kenny went looking for Yuri. Yuri was founding Titan in that time, so that's 13 years. So Levi was born during that time, during that 13 years. At the very most, it was probably at the very beginning um, of the 13 years. So by the time uh, Yuri died, Levi was 13. Because in that time, um, Kenny had, like, that makes the most sense. So Levi was born at the beginning of Yuri's reign as king and founder, and he was 13 when Yuri died, and then 16 ish when Frida died. And then, yeah, he's like 21. He's like, when he meets Aaron and them, he's like 21. He's not much older than they are. And then by the end of the series, he's like 26. So Levi's not even 30. What I think Isayama meant was not that Levi was 30, but that he acted 30. Like he acted way older than he was because he had gone through so much in life. Like there's an entire comic dedicated to Levi's early life. He's no more than like 7 or 8. Petra, the group that he's with, like um his original squad are all around the same age as him. That's why they all kind of work well together. He's not 30. Think what Isayama meant was he acts like he's 30 because somebody asked him and he got kind of shaken by the question. He just like said 30 something, but even the interpreter was like, that's not quite what he meant, but he never really corrected himself. But no, Levi's not, based on the timeline, Levi's not 30.
based on how events play out, Levi was 16-ish, 16, 17 when he went to um when he went to fight and kill Irwin and then got recruited. So he established as humanity's strongest in a very short period of time, by the way. He did it in less than 3 years. So by the time we see him in the flash, he's only 17, 18. Yeah. I wanted to do a whole theory video on it, but I'm just gonna do it here. But yeah, he's by the time he meets Aaron, he's like 21. So it's not as bad to ship them. I mean, it's still like I'm sure people will still complain, but it's not that bad. Um, and he's not even 30 by the end of the series. Because I was like, how can so much? Because it was just driving me nuts while I was trying to figure out my fanfic for it. I'm like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. How can so much have happened in so little time? And blah blah blah. And then I looked at it. It couldn't have happened. It couldn't have happened the way they happened because all these big events with Kenny had already met Yuri and left Yuri to go raise Levi during his reign. He was only king for 13 years. So at the very most, Levi was born at the beginning of his reign, or very close to it. So he was 13 when Yuri died, and Kenny had only raised him for a few years in that time, and then gone back to be with Yuri, which makes sense because then like it all makes sense when you kind of look at the timeline. Because I looked at the timeline on Wikipedia for Attack on Titan. I know it's bad, but at least it had everything together. But Levi, like I was looking at, I'm like, there's no way because Kenny was already serving Yuri. It's made abundantly clear in both the manga and the anime that when Levi was born, or at least Levi was when he went to go raise Levi for those couple years or whatever, that he was already serving Yuri because he says I went back to. So Levi was born in that 13 years, but in some time at that time frame of his 13 years. I went with the possibility that he was born at the beginning. That gives him the longest time. That makes the most sense. So Levi canonically is only 26 when the end of the war happens, and he's 21 when he met Aaron. So there we go. There's okay, Wolf. There's like a lot wrong with it. There's like a lot more with the Sebastian Ciel shit. Um, yeah, they were 12. So they were 10 when the attack on Shiganshina happened, and they had to be 12 to enlist. By the way, why does no one find issue with that? That they have literal child soldiers. Why does no one find issue with that? Like, oh, it's okay, they're young, that it makes sense. But no, we can't ship them with adults because they're not just, it's like obviously they're considered adults if at 12 they can enlist in the army. Like somebody make that make sense to me because we can't apply we can't apply our logic to this scenario because it doesn't make sense at all. Because the government did not care. I think it's more just that's just how it was. I mean, even back in and I'm not saying it makes it right. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just giving real life examples. It's like back in the Revolutionary War and all that. You had kids join up as like drummers or whatever, but they were still trained the same way. They just weren't given a position of that would be violent. They were still given a position that could get them killed, but they were given a position that would be like actively being soldiers. But again, just make it make sense why people are okay with child soldiers but they draw the line at the age difference. Like, guys, at this point, they're all the same. You age up the character. They need to get rid of people with population. But all in all, Levi and Aaron do make cool. That they do. That they do. I pissed off Wolf the other day because I said that I would be okay if they had to make if some if it became canon that Hanji and Levi were into each other. I said I'd be okay with that. I would be okay accepting that. If I can't have Aaron and Levi, I will accept Hanji and Levi. At least it's not Erwin. Wolf wanted to puke because Wolf thinks of siblings. I'm like, you know what? That's fine. They can have a sibling like relationship. But if I had to pick, if I didn't get my first choice and I had to be okay with a canon couple, I would be okay with Levi and Hanji. It would be okay for me as long as it's not Levi and Erwin. Because if you think about it, Erwin is substantially older than Levi now, like almost to the gross. He was much older. Because they say canonically Moblet's the oldest at like 37, something like that. Ridiculously old. Like Moblet's the oldest. And then Erwin and Hanji are Erwin, Hanji, and Mike are in that group too. They're in their 30s. Would not. But I told you if I have to accept one, if I'm forced to, and it's not my primary, I will accept Hanji and Levi. Because at least they, like, I openly acknowledge some kind of care towards each other. Like, there's at least, like, some kind of affection in general. I don't really see affection between Erwin and Levi. Like, no, I don't. I don't. That's a power trip. No, thank you. Um, no, I'm not really aware of the age difference between Tuxedo Mask and Sailor Moon. I know. So for me, I know they changed a lot with Sailor Moon when it first came to the US. So I don't really go by anything, unless, like I said, it comes from like the Anime America chick because she knows she's on the up and up, and I'll trust her. If I had to choose, he would be alone. Well, good for you, because that's exactly what happened. No, 3 years is not too bad. Honestly, that's about the same age. I think they picked those ages because that's close to what Romeo and Juliet were in Shakespeare. I think Juliet was 13 and Romeo was 17 or 18, which wasn't uncommon. Don't come for me. That was not uncommon back in noble circles to be 14, 13, 14 and betrothed or married off somebody who was 18 or older. Poor Margaret Beaufort was 10. It's that one was um, somewhat oogie by their standards, but they still went with it because they were desperate. It was a time of war and they needed heirs. So she was married off at 10 and had Henry VII by the time she was 12. Um, exactly. They didn't realistically live a very long time. But hers was even a little young for their standards, but they chalked it up to they were in war and they needed heirs. So she was married off at 10, had Henry VII by 12, and was so mutilated from it. It was a blessing in disguise. She wasn't able to have any more children after that. And her husband Henry VI um, died in battle. And for any of you wondering, this is Henry VIII's grandmother on his father's side, obviously. Fortunately, I haven't read many more instances of queen of 12-year-olds giving birth in that time. There probably are. I just haven't come across them. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that because there's some weird ass shit in there's yeah, people are so weird about age difference. It's like, guys, you don't realize how bad it really could be. You don't realize. You guys get offended by this. No, this could be way fucking worse. I noticed that it's becoming more of a common thing of like, oh, I won't ship them if they are so young. Like, there's like a 2 year age difference. Like, 2 years is fine. That's what a lot of people have in real relationships. Like, I don't get I don't, it's not, and if they're like siblings, they're, actually, like no, even if they're like siblings, they're not really siblings. So you can ship them. It's okay. Like, I don't know when shipping became so controversial, but I don't subscribe to this theory. I don't. I don't subscribe to this way of thinking at all. So I'm going to do me, you do you, and you don't come for me, and I don't come for you. And that's how we're going to leave it. Just people can do what they want. Really, it's okay. It's all for fun. I know. I think I've been on the internet too long because I've seen, I know, I loved that. It was so sweet. It was like, how dare you people grow up? You're not supposed to grow up. You're supposed to stay my cute little wet behind the ears squad for the rest of my life. You're not supposed to become adults. He was so offended because A, they were taller, and B, they were growing up and gonna leave him, and he was sad. He was gonna lose his little squad. But going back to, I think about on the internet, because there are people who take fandom way too seriously, way too seriously. Um, oh, dude, there's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah, I've read a lot, and I can't forget. But anyway, um, there's just there are people who are so into fandom, like they are like, okay, I'm on archive of our, and there are people who are obsessed with their stats. Like